Welcome to the very first episode of Check 6 Radio. I'm your host, Dennis Tresca. In the military, the concept of Check 6 is drilled into us from day one. Whether you're a grunt on the ground, a sailor on deck, or an airman in the cockpit, you know that your 6 is your blind spot. It's the one area you can't monitor alone. In the aircraft, checking your 6 means looking out for threats your wingman can't see. It means ensuring that when the mission gets chaotic, someone is watching the perimeter. But what happens when the mission ends? You step into the civilian world, you hang up the uniform, and suddenly, that formation is gone. You're navigating a new career, a new family dynamic, and a whole new language. Most of us are still standing at parade rest when the microwave counts down, or looking for the standing operating procedure for a Monday morning staff meeting that doesn't exist. The biggest threat to a veteran's transition isn't a lack of resources. It's a lack of a wingman to point them out. That is exactly why I created this podcast, to watch your 6 in the civilian world. I am incredibly proud to launch this show as part of the Rad Dad Network. Now, I want to be clear about what the Rad Dad Network is, because some people hear the name and think we're a parenting support group. While we definitely care about being good dads, our mission is much broader. We are a community. We're about connection, camaraderie, and ensuring that no one has to navigate the next chapter of his life as a solo mission. And of course, being a co-founder of this network means I am legally obligated to subject you to at least one dad joke per sortie. For example, I went to the store to buy some camouflage pants the other day, but I couldn't find any. You're welcome. We've got plenty more where that came from. Before we get tactical, I want to establish some credibility. I served 18 years in the Air Force. Most of that time was spent on the EC-130 compass call and the RC-135 rivet joint. My job was electronic warfare and reconnaissance, essentially monitoring the environment, identifying threats, and providing intel to the people who needed it. When I retired, I thought my monitoring days were over. I thought I had a solid plan, but civilian life has a way of throwing flack at you when you least expect it. I struggled. I tried to lead civilian teams like I led a squadron. I remember one specific incident in HR where I told a colleague they needed to stay in their lane during a project. In the Air Force, that's just a safety brief. In HR, apparently it's a hostile workplace incident that requires a follow-up meeting with a mediator. I realized then that the civilian world doesn't have a convoy brief or a pre-flight check. You have to build your own. That's what this show is, your weekly mission brief for civilian life. Well, I'd like to say weekly, might be monthly. We'll see how this goes. Let's talk about the landscape we're operating in. There is a term in the veteran advocacy world called the sea of goodwill. If you look at the data, there are over 40,000 nonprofits in the United States dedicated to helping veterans. 40,000. That is roughly the same number of reflective vests I saw during my 18 years of service. On the surface, that sounds amazing. It means there's an organization for everything. Service dogs, home repairs, resume writing, fly fishing retreats, and emergency financial grants. But here's a problem. It's a sea. And without a chart, you're going to drown in it. Most veterans get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of options. You Google veteran help and you get 50 million results. Half of them are outdated websites from 2004. And the other half are organizations that mean well, but don't have the capacity to actually help you when the chips are down. Then you have the big ones, the VFW, the American Legion, the Wounded Warrior Project. They do great work, but sometimes they feel like massive machines that are hard to penetrate. The mission of Check 6 Radio is to be your SIGINT, your signals intelligence. We are going to monitor that sea of goodwill for you. For the first few episodes, it's just me and you. I'm going to break down big rocks, the foundational benefits that apply to almost everyone, like the GI Bill, VA healthcare. After that, we're bringing in experts. I'll be interviewing veteran entrepreneurs who built businesses from their garages, nonprofit directors who are actually moving the needle, and coaches who can help you translate your NCOIC experience into a C-suite library. But today, we have to start with the digital perimeter. We have to secure your data before we can build your future. If you take nothing else away from this first episode, I need you to do this one thing. This is your homework. And yes, I'm checking. We need to talk about the digital front door. I'm talking about VA.gov. A lot of you just groaned. I know. You're thinking about the hours you spent on hold or the confusing paper forms that seem designed to make you give up. But listen to me. The VA has actually made massive strides in the last few years. They've migrated almost everything to a single sign-on system. If you aren't logged in, you are effectively leaving money, healthcare, and education on the table. Here are the 3 reasons you need to log into VA.gov today. We've all been there. You're at a car dealership or a bank and they ask for your DD-214. You realize yours is in a shoebox in a storage unit 3 towns away. If you have an account with VA.gov, you can download a certified PDF of your DD-214 in about 60 seconds. You should have that PDF saved on your phone and backed up in the cloud. It is your golden ticket to everything else. The benefit verification letter. This is the most underrated document in the veteran world. If you have a disability rating, even 10%, this letter is your secret weapon. In many states, this letter is what gets you out of paying property taxes, gets you a free license plate, or gets you a lifetime pass to every national park in the country. You don't have to wait for the VA to mail it to you. You can generate it, print it, and start saving money immediately. The ID.me factor. To get into VA.gov, you're going to see an option for ID.me. A lot of vets get frustrated with the self-verification or the document upload. Stick with it. ID.me isn't just for the VA. It is the digital ID for the civilian world. Once you're verified, you can use the same login to get discounts at Apple, Ford, even the local hardware store. Don't get me started on the Home Depot versus Lowe's right now. We'll save that for later. So here's your tactical drill. Go to VA.gov, click sign in, choose ID.me or login.gov, although I recommend going the ID.me route for discounts everywhere. If you don't have an account, set it up. Have your driver's license ready. Once you're in, just verify your direct deposit info. You'd be surprised how many vets miss out on payments because they changed banks, never told the VA. Do this today. Secure your digital perimeter so we can start building on top of it. Okay, I know website logins aren't as exciting as hearing a pilot talk about his closest call or a SEAL talk about a breach, but you can't be an effective veteran in the civilian world if you don't have your paperwork in order. Next episode, we're going to be getting into the fun stuff. We are tackling the most misunderstood benefit in history, the GI Bill. I'm going to show you how people are using it for flight school, diving school, and even apprenticeships, where the government pays you to learn a trade on the job. If you think the GI Bill is just for 19-year-olds in a college dorm, you are missing out on thousands of dollars. If you got value out of this mission brief, do me a favor. First, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to audio on your commute, hit that subscribe or follow button. It helps the algorithm find other vets who need to hear this. Second, check out the other shows on the Rad Dad Network. We're building a lot of content and a lot of fun shows. I'm Dennis Tresca. This is Check 6 Radio. Stay safe, keep your head on a swivel, and watch your 6. I'm out.